It's happened again. 5 more schools in San Diego were locked down due to threats made to the schools.
An assault on City College campus has students on edge, and police are asking the public's help in finding the suspect.
And a famous actor is recovering in the hospital tonight after having to make an emergency landing on an LA golf course.
This week has been a bit chilly, and we're wondering when we can expect some spring weather.
Welcome to this edition of Newscene. I'm Angie White.
And I'm Janae Fulcher. Thank you for joining us.
We begin tonight with breaking news. 5 San Diego schools were put on lockdown today. The Monte Vista High School in Spring Valley was locked down this morning due to reports of a weapon on campus. Police found a fake gun at the school and have taken 18 into custody. Also in Spring Valley, Loma Elementary closed its doors as a precautionary measure, but school was still in session. Another lockdown occurred at Thurgood Marshall Middle School in Scripps Ranch. The reason for the lockdowns have not been disclosed. Lewis Middle School in Allied Gardens was also locked down due to an unspecified threat. And Lincoln High School in Southeast San Diego kept students inside after receiving an undisclosed threat. All lockdowns were lifted by early afternoon. No injuries were reported. Investigations into the threats are currently underway.
The 7-month-old baby that was hit by a car in Point Loma has died. Her name is Juniper Umbang. The accident happened this Monday in Point Loma. She was in a stroller when an SUV hit her and her father around 6:30 this morning. She was rushed to the Rady Children's Hospital, but she died late Tuesday morning from her injuries. Her father is in the hospital with serious injuries. The man who hit the two claims the view of the intersection was obstructed by palm trees. That tree has since been cut down.
A Southcrest police pursuit ends in gunfire. According to the police, a suspect was driving a stolen vehicle around 11 a.m. Wednesday morning. Officers attempted to make contact when the driver, Sergio Antonio Ceballos Reyes, sped away, crashing into a nearby power line. Shots were fired as the suspect tried to get away. He was taken to UCSD Medical Center in Hillcrest in stable condition. The passenger of the suspect was also taken into custody after being treated for minor injuries.
Earlier this week, San Diego Sheriff's Department announced their plan to outfit 80 deputies with body cameras. The Sheriff's Department will be the 5th in San Diego County to use this technology. Sheriff Bill Gore says the cameras will be evaluated over the next 90 days. The cost to fit officers with body cameras is expected to reach $1 million. Sheriffs made a gruesome discovery in Lakeside Tuesday. Deputies went to the Riverview Villa apartments to serve an eviction notice and found a dead body. The tenant, a woman in her 50s, told deputies there was a dead woman in one of the rooms. Investigators found the decomposed body in a suitcase. They say the body may have been there for 6 months to a year. An autopsy will be conducted to identify the woman and what caused her death. The tenant was taken to the hospital for unknown reasons. She is not facing any charges at this time.
The man who was shot and killed by LAPD officers has been identified. His name is Charlie Kooning. Initially, police did not know who he was because he had stolen a French man's identity. He also served 13 years under that name and was wanted for violating probation. Police were called after an argument broke out between Kooning and another man. Police say he allegedly grabbed for an officer's gun, and that is when they opened fire. 2 of the officers at the scene were wearing body cameras. That footage will be used in the investigation.
The U.S. Justice Department will not file charges against Darren Wilson, but their new report claims blatant discrimination by the Ferguson police force. The investigation found that in 88% of cases where police used force, it was against African Americans. Attorney General Eric Holder says the report reflects a divided community.
Investigation found a community that was deeply polarized, a community where deep distrust and hostility often characterized interactions between police and area residents, a community where local authorities consistently approached law enforcement not as a means for protecting public safety, but as a way to generate revenue, a community where both policing and municipal court practices were found to be disproportionately harmful to African American residents.
The Brown family is planning to file a civil lawsuit against Darren Wilson and the Ferguson Police Department.
The trial of the 21-year-old Dzhokhar Sarneev, suspected in the Boston Marathon bombing, began this week. There was emotional testimony from many of the victims. Both prosecutors and the defense believe that his brother Tamerlan was highly influential behind his actions. The Sarneev brothers were captured by surveillance cameras right before the bombing. At least one of the victims says he noticed Sarneev at the scene. He later helped investigators draw a sketch that eventually led to their capture. 3 people were killed and 264 people were injured. The older brother, Tamerlan, was shot and killed during a confrontation with police. Sarneev was arrested the following day after being identified by a resident when hiding out in a boat.
A 17-year-old Virginia teen is being accused of recruiting for ISIS. The unidentified teen was being tracked for more than a month before being taken into custody last week. Investigators are saying he helped a man travel to Syria to join ISIS. As of now, he is being tried as a juvenile, but prosecutors want him tried as an adult.
Mexican police have captured the leader of the violent Zeta drug cartel. Omar Trevino Morales was arrested during a raid in Monterrey, Mexico early Wednesday morning. He is the brother of the former leader of the cartel. Authorities say after his brother was arrested in 2013, Morales took leadership of the gang. The brothers allegedly used money from drug sales to purchase racehorses in the U.S. His capture follows last Friday's arrest of another notorious cartel leader.
Coming up next, we'll tell you why city professors and students walked out of their classrooms.
And the Aztecs' final road game was a nail-biter. Holly Bridges will have this and more coming up in sports.
Are we in the B block?
We're clear. Good job.
Am I B?
And look at Christmas lights.
All I remember is impact. Every day of my life. Wake up thinking about it, go to sleep thinking about it. Not a moment that it goes by that I don't think about it.
Without Abby in our lives, our family's changed forever. I want to make a plea to anyone that gets in a car that they pay complete attention to what they are doing and do not let themselves get distracted in any way, so that this doesn't happen to another family and they do not have to endure the pain that we have.
City police are asking the public's help in identifying the man responsible for a sexual assault on campus. The assault occurred as the victim was leaving class around 8:10 p.m. The suspect followed the victim from C Street, where he pulled her behind a dumpster, hugged her, and grabbed her groin area. The man let her go, but he grabbed her again and tried to unzip her pants. For a second time, he let her go. She went to the cafeteria and the suspect left the area. Police have no suspects at this time.
The assault on campus brings up questions about the safety of students, especially at night. Newscene Chris Thayer has more.
Do students really feel safe at night? What about female students leaving campus, especially at 9 or 10 o'clock? Some walk alone, but they're generally in a hurry. Then there are those who take precautions. Some female students carry their car keys between their fingers to use as a weapon. Pepper spray is also an option.
Sometimes when I just feel a little scared or I feel like I have that feeling something's going to happen, then I'll probably put it in my pocket and just have my hands in my pockets for the pepper spray.
Emergency call boxes are on campus to request a police escort to a student's car or to call in an emergency. I called for an escort to my car. It took 16 minutes for a campus cop to finally arrive.
It's 10 o'clock at night and my car's here alone in the parking lot. If I weren't here with a news cameraman, I would be very afraid to be walking to my car alone.
Claudia Russell was here in 2010 when Diana Gonzalez was stabbed to death in a campus bathroom.
That perpetrator was able to commit that crime. I made the decision then and there, I will never leave this campus by myself at night.
The next night, I again wanted an escort to my car. I pressed the emergency call button. It rang for a total of 14 minutes. Can you imagine if this had been an actual emergency? Reporting for Newscene, this is Chris Thayer.
The District Police Department offers self-defense classes every semester. Visit the City College website for more information.
The City College Business Department joined up with a nonprofit group this week, handing out free food to students. Holly Bridges has the story.
One woman's idea, planted together with her desire to help others, has sprouted into her own mobile food pantry that makes stops throughout San Diego. Trish Sousa created So Others May Eat, so that those hungry could eat. Packed with lots of food and drinks, deodorant, and even cooked hot dogs, her truck rolled on to the City College campus and gave away free perishable and non-perishable items to those in need and anyone that wanted.
I got chips, I got candy, I got some vanilla cookie peanut butter, some ham, more chips, some soda, and snacks.
Students with the Small Business Internship Program helped distribute the items that were donated from places like Albertsons and Sprinkles. One student was really appreciative and loved the cupcakes and food she got.
A lot of nice snacks for my kids, so they're going to be really happy.
Nearly 100 people left with groceries and a smile, and it was all because of this woman wanting to help others.
So I started to help feed the homeless in different places, in a church in Ocean Beach, and I realized at that time that there were so many people that were hungry, but there was so much food out there.
Professor of Business Leroy Brady told me that they do this to help feed and nourish the students' minds and their bodies. He wanted to stay out of the limelight, but he said there's nothing worse than a student falling asleep in class because they're hungry. The So People May Eat truck was on campus just for the one day, but since so many got fed, they may come back and make it a monthly routine. If you know a student that goes without eating and is in need, City College does have its own emergency food pantry available to students in the BT building, room 211, for anyone in need. I'm Holly Bridges, Newscene.
For more information, you can go to the website at the bottom of the screen.
Professors and students walked out of their classes to protest for adjunct professors' job security. Elizabeth Baker went out to find more.
We're here at San Diego City College, where adjunct professors are protesting for the same benefits as full-time professors. Speakers came from far and wide to discuss this issue.
If we don't have security, if we don't have offices, if we don't have sick leave, so we have to come to work sick, if we don't have our names in the class schedules so people can find us, for advising or for letters of recommendation, or don't have offices, that affects students' learning.
Many adjunct professors have to secure part-time teaching jobs at a number of different colleges in order to make ends meet. They have to spend a lot of time driving between different campuses and shuffling between sometimes up to 5 different temporary offices. They don't have as much time to dedicate to their students as their full-time counterparts.
Not that we're inferior teachers, but we're working under tremendously inferior conditions, and that degrades the experience for students.
For the adjunct professors, there is a constant fear that their classes could be cut or they might not be asked back by a school to teach, which interrupts with a professor's creative liberty in the classroom. Some also feel silenced. If a professor says something the administration does not like, they can simply not be asked back for next semester.
If a teacher is not willing to teach or not able to speak their mind and really kind of give students a realistic idea of what's going on in the world, they're kind of put in a box by not having the security. If they say the wrong thing, they might get fired.
Faculty now is divided into 2 groups, right? Most of which doesn't have job security and is scared all the time. We don't have nearly the power to speak, to defend what needs to be defended. And the result is less state money, more corporate influence, higher tuition.
This is Elizabeth Baker for Newscene.
Currently at City College, 59% of the classes taught are taught by adjunct professors.
San Diego City College is gearing up for student elections. In the coming months, students with a valid college ID will be able to vote on their associated student government. Today through March 16th, election packets will be available in the student affair offices. Elections and online voting will take place Wednesday, April 15th and April 16th. Results will be announced April 22nd. You can visit the website at the bottom of the screen for more information.
And the San Diego International Airport is gaining headlines with their new restrooms. The sign states anyone can use a restroom regardless of gender identity or expression. Airport officials say they changed the restroom signs to be more open to different types of families. Passengers coming into San Diego had this to say.
Good good that they recognize the transgender community, and glad San Diego has it, and hopefully it spreads across the U.S. and so everybody has equal rights.
If there's going to be a problem, it's going to be with the number of visitors that we get everywhere who don't understand Western restroom etiquette. And but I think it's a great idea.
The has one toilet, including a baby changing table, and is accessible to people with disabilities.
Fans are showing their team pride in hopes that the Chargers stay in San Diego. More on how thousands of fans gathered outside Qualcomm Stadium to save our Bolts.
Gift giving is an art.
What do you give the person who's got everything?
I wanted to do something different.
I wanted to surprise him.
I remember looking at the card and saying, "What's this?"
I was like, I got you chickens.
We gave my father-in-law some ducks.
Oh, I'm really getting a goat, and you start making plans to build a gate in your backyard.
I gave her a heifer.
You're giving me a cow for my birthday?
A cow, some goats, and some chickens. I was so happy.
They're not coming to my house, right?
I thought a swarm of bees were going to arrive at the house. And then she explained Heifer International, and I started to cry.
Gifts like this change lives. A farm animal helps families in hunger.
So they can raise their own food.
Children have medicine.
Women have a voice.
Give different.
Christmas, Valentine's Day, Hanukkah, whatever you want.
Give a family life.
It's more than a gift.
It's the best gift I ever gave.
When a close friend or loved one is diagnosed with cancer, the diagnosis is often followed by eating healthier. A nonprofit here in San Diego is helping cancer patients do just that. Brittany Ford has the story. Deliciousness will deliver 6 meals a week for 6 weeks to current patients undergoing chemotherapy, radiation, or hormone therapy. For more details on this amazing service, visit the website on the screen.
Following up with yesterday's plane crash, Carrie Bryant is here to fill us in with the latest version on Harrison Ford's condition. Carrie?
Thank you, Janae. Yesterday afternoon, a leisurely plane ride took a turn for the worst. Actor Harrison Ford was rushed to the hospital yesterday after the vintage World War II plane he was piloting plummeted into the Penmar Golf Course in Santa Monica. The plane crashed at about 2:30 p.m. and according to airport officials, engine trouble was the cause of the accident. Ford reportedly suffered multiple gashes to his head. As of now, the 72-year-old actor is in stable condition and is expected to make a full recovery. And the Media Arts Center of San Diego was proud to announce its newest lineup for the 22nd Annual Latino Film Festival.
We're going to be opening up a new experience, including shopping and having music every day and art and food. It's going to be really vibrant. So I think having it at Fashion Valley really activates that. Our audience is anybody that wants to see Latino culture, anybody that wants to experience it. I think that's our audience for sure.
From March 12th through the 22nd, you can catch all the newest movies. Tickets will be available online to be purchased right now. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Carrie. Organizers behind a proposed stadium in Los Angeles for the Oakland Raiders and San Diego Chargers have filed paperwork to bring the plan before voters. But here at home, Charger fans are doing what they can do to keep the Bolts in San Diego. Natay Holmes has a recap of the big rally that happened last week.
Chargers pride was felt at Qualcomm Stadium as thousands of fans came to show their support for the team. Their message was simple. The Save Our Bolts rally was held shortly before fans flocked inside for the Chargers Task Force Open Forum, and fans made sure to bring the noise.
Here to make it rowdy. This ain't tennis, chess, nor is it golf. We're here to bring the flames, to bring the fire, to show everybody that we are in love with this team.
With the recent news of the Chargers possibly leaving San Diego, Fans young and old had the chance to make their voices heard on a new stadium location and financial plan for the team.
And we're excited to keep the Chargers in San Diego, whether it's here at Qualcomm or if it's in downtown San Diego, as long as they stay in San Diego.
Chargers are the only face left of San Diego. As an icon, that would be it. And if they go, if they bolt, then San Diego has no massive financial backing to replace them. In fact, we have nothing to do on Sundays in the fall, except remember what it used to be like to be a Charger fan here.
If the Chargers should leave, what all is involved? I think we have a good chance of losing our bowl games, our poinsettia, our Holiday Bowl. I think that this rally, I think, is so important that the people can prove that how much we love our Chargers and how important it is to keep them here in town.
Nate Holmes, Newscene.
Goldman Sachs says the company is willing to financially back a new stadium if the team decides to move to Los Angeles. The Chargers task force says they should have a location plan for the Chargers here in San Diego within the next 2 weeks.
And Holly Bridges has the latest in sports this week. Holly, how's it going?
Hi, everything's good. The Aztecs are looking great. SDSU and UNLV had to sling things out in a tight game from start to finish Wednesday night with only a 3-point separation at the half and a 2-point margin of victory at the end of the game. So it was really tight all the way through. The Aztecs needed a win to stay tied for first in the Wild Mountain West, but the Rebels were without a cause and they had to deal with the rowdy Thomas and Mack Center crowd. Now, after collapsing in a game back in December, here's Dwayne Poley. He comes back and nails the 3. Aztecs up by 5. Later, UNLV down by 2. The Rebels' Jordan Cornish hits the fadeaway 3 to give them a lead. But the night belonged to J.J. O'Brien. The Aztecs here, who led all scorers with a career 22 points, uses a screen, drives the lane, and gets the pretty lay-in. With 3:21 left to go, Aztecs down by 1. Winston Shepard drains the 3, and they're up 53-51. Aztecs come up big on defense. They get the lead. They get a steal, the breakaway 2-on-1 play, and the basket, and they pocket the win 60-58. The Aztecs host Nevada tomorrow night at home. And now highlights from Peoria for the Padres' annual charity game Wednesday with the Seattle Mariners. The Padres' Justin Upton he's a newcomer to the Padres. He rips a solo shot home run to deep center, going 1 for 3 for the day. And then the 6-4-3 double play. This might be a new combination with some new upcoming Padres. You're going to see a 6-4-3 double play in a moment. Rounds bases, gets a homer. And here's the Padres on defense, the 6-4-3 combination. And he got him. Now, I don't like to show my favorite teams getting embarrassed, but I'm about to. In my plays of the week, getting my Shake and Bake award is Devon Reed. He's going to make my favorite player, North Carolina's Justin Jackson, right out of his boots. And here we go. He shakes once, not twice, and he drives the lane, scores the basket. But later, J.P. Tokeno is going to get the runaway steal and the jam, and the Tar Heels do go on to win. But getting the best Fake of the Week award is the Syracuse lacrosse team. Watch carefully as number 11, Brandon Mullins, still has the ball and only pretends to give it to the goalie. But everyone thinks the goalie has it, while number 11 had it the whole time. He goes downfield and handed off to number 2, Kevin Rice, who scores.
Pennell's a fantastic shooter.
He had 7 goals in that game. At the other end, it's Rice, and it's a layup, and it's 3-0 Orange.
Everyone got confused on this because of the hidden ball trick. Take a look at this right here. Brandon Mullins fakes it to Wardwell. Mullins still has the ball. One and White does not. Goes with the clear, and Kevin Rice.
They not only faked the entire Virginia team, but also the announcer and even the cameraman on that. Pretty clever moves, huh, girls?
Yeah, definitely would have got me with that one. And is it going to be another rainy weekend here in San Diego? We'll have your weekend forecast after the break.
No more, it's none of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem. No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To not look the other way. It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us,
to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
It's warming up here in San Diego. Elizabeth Baker is here with a look at the weather.
Thank you so much, Angie. Yes, things are definitely warming up. Today was actually 14 degrees warmer than usual here in San Diego. Now this is happening also in Arizona and Nevada and Southern California. We're having record-breaking warm temperatures for the month of March. Now this is our forecast for the next few days. It is almost 80 degrees for the weekend. It would be a great time to go to the beach and enjoy a little pre-spring sunlight, and also maybe enjoy some of that greenery that all of that winter rain has brought us. Now, something that I wanted to mention is that it's cooling down in the evening. So if you're out, like when the sun starts to go down, you'll want to make sure that you're bringing a light jacket for yourself and the little ones. Now, I also wanted to point out, this is our evening forecast for the nation. Something I wanted to point out is that the Midwest and also the Northeast and even the South are experiencing record low temperatures. If you are traveling to any of these areas, you want to make sure that you're checking your, make sure that there are no delays and or cancellations. Now, something else that I wanted to mention is that it is daylight savings on Sunday. So we are going to be losing an hour of sleep, but we're also going to be getting an extra hour of daylight. So I know that I'm going to be hanging out at the beach much more often. And that is it for our weather. Thank you so much for joining us. And back to you ladies at the desk. So how do you plan on spending your extra hour of daylight?
Well, Elizabeth, I'm probably going to enjoy a nice walk outside with my dog. What about you, Angie?
I'll probably head over to the beach.
Well, that's all the time we have here at Newscene. I'm Janae Fulcher.
And I'm Angie White. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.